time I see this specific wallet come up, I always instantly get the GTA San Andreas. Ah, here we go again. Best game of all time or not? Or not? Or not? Just saying, just saying. Let me know in the comment section. The definitive edition, not so good. Maybe just play the original PS2 edition. Moving forward, you know, for once we can actually look at something and go, hey, this is actually not a bad idea. We could do this, and it probably would make a lot of people happy at this point. It would probably provide some well-needed sentiment. So kudos and hat off for taking this route. On the face of it, it doesn't look too friendly. It doesn't look too good. It's simply stating to blacklist the wallet. This is not a good term to use. I would have probably used the term temporary freezing, because that's what this is. Now, if we were to, for example, create a block changing state as to which it allows us to remove coins from a wallet, it's highly questionable. But if you're just freezing assets in a specific wallet, so all you're doing is saying this wallet's not accepted on chain anymore. There are a few ways they could go about this, but ultimately it's what I'm getting at here is it's reversible. It's not a decision that becomes set in stone. For example, if we just destroy them, it's not ever going to be able to bring those coins back. As much as people think they can rewrite the blockchain, you can't rewrite the governance wallet itself. It's too heavily integrated in. It would mean pretty much you would need to, I'm not even getting into it. Destroying these funds has always been a big no-no for me. It introduces the kind of change that is simply going into a wallet and taking what funds it deems as, I don't know, dead funds, whatever they want to call them. They're somebody else's funds at the end of the day. So freezing these for a blacklisting, it's doable. Now, something that comes into question here, like I said, for once we can look at this and we can say, okay, they've got, you know, good grounds to be following this route. And it's, my first question was to this: have the people actually agreed to this being blacklisted, and what is the reason for it being blacklisted to begin with, right? From what we know, from what we understand, from what I can depict from a situation is they've lost the keys or whatever to the wallet and they can't get access to it anymore. From what I've been told, it's a multi-signature wallet. It might not be, but apparently it's a multi-signature wallet. So it's just a matter of getting the addresses of the signers. So pretty much, put it this way, right? If you needed 3 of 3 signatures and one of those people have actually lost access to the wallet they used to sign on that multi-sig, it's done, it's over, it's finished. You're never getting to those funds. For all intent and purposes, they're already blacklisted at this point. Ultimately, they're stating they can't get to the funds. A lot of ultimates this morning. They're stating they can't get to the funds, which is understandable if that is the case, like I've just explained, which is definitely a possibility that could have happened during the crash. People really didn't think this chain was coming back. It did. Then it gives us good grounds to go in and do this. And like I said, normally you would sit there and go, well, have they spoken to the people about this? And the answer seems to be yes, even though the names are blanked out. This can all be reversed through a simple governance transaction. As easy as it was put in place, it can be removed. And I think this is actually a good route at this point if we want to get them to acknowledge it. Hey, if we blacklist the funds, maybe the keys will show up. You just don't know at this point. But all routes have been sort of exhausted at this point. The diplomatic options have been exhausted. And this isn't really an intrusive. From my point of view, it's not that intrusive. You're simply just freezing those assets for the indefinite future unless they decide to send them back because they found the keys, right? What you're trying to prevent is those assets flooding back into the market and being spent by another development team in order to build the next door neighbor's house, which is what so many people are upset about. Obviously, some people are saying blacklisting isn't enough, but ultimately, to go the extra mile and delete those coins would be against everything that DeFi is for. It goes against everything, period. Coins that are lost, NFTs that are lost, anything that is lost is lost. You know, if it wasn't lost, we would have refunded Terraport their $2 million for the people who are like, it was $2 million. It wasn't 8. Well, I'm sorry, but there's like 30 news articles. One of them says 12 million. Another one says 8. Another one says 5. Another one says 2. Who are we supposed to believe at this point, right? Exactly. No certic audit. Move it forward. For me, the effect this will probably have on the overall community would probably be far more positive than negative at this point, and it could lead to us getting further answers and further acknowledgement of the funds. Ultimately, so many ultimates. I need to put a sticker up saying stop saying ultimate. It's oh god, I gotta be at work in like an hour, folks. I think this deserves support. The reason why I'm saying this is because, like I said, there's all of the diplomatic routes. They've been exhausted at this point. There's nothing more we can do, and if we don't put a cork in it now, it's just going to continue through this like vicious like loop of just constant negative feedback off of the same funds. At least then we can cross the T's, we can dot the I's, and we can say to ourselves those funds are blacklisted, and we can move forward as a community. You can even, if you really want to, and you really want to go that deep into it, you could probably alter the actual supply of the coin from blacklisting those wallets on CEXs. It's just something as a simple code change to make that happen, which is a little bit weird, right? But ultimately, that's just how blockchains work when things aren't put in an irreversible manner. The one thing I'm heavily against, I'm always going to stand against, and it would destroy our chain, is just destroying assets we don't have access to. At least this way, it's reversible. Everybody has options at this point, and that's what we need. We don't want to burn our bridges. We don't want to take rash decisions that would put the integrity of this blockchain at stake. Nothing should ever come at the risk of destroying the whole blockchain and hoping that it doesn't, and it doesn't destroy our credibility any further than it's already been destroyed. Something to go and look at was my 2 videos yesterday. If you haven't taken a look at my most recent 2 videos, go and take a look at what Terra are doing at the moment with labor market. Go and look at how Foundation works, and ultimately these sorts of things should be utilized sooner rather than later. But go have a look, let me know what you think, drop a comment, give me some feedback. I need feedback from you as to what you think about that. Maybe you're not that interested, maybe you don't understand it well enough, maybe it's something as simple as that. But what I aim to do here is try to break things down as best as I can for the general people, because it's so important that, some people might sit there and go, HCC has all of the answers, but I don't. I get things wrong, and that's totally normal, and it's a total human thing to do. In fact, when I get something wrong, it gives me an opportunity to go back, reflect, look at where I went wrong, and research things. I will always own my mistakes here, and ultimately, God, the word ultimate, what is wrong with me today? I'm always going to be here to best guide you however I can, by giving you my own opinion of how I'm feeling and how I'm thinking with things. It's so important that you have someone with that point of view who's not just trying to filter your head full of junk. This is actually a good move on our part, and this is something we should have probably followed instead of this chasing ourselves in circles time and time and time again. I'm really excited. I hope this goes up for voting sooner rather than later, so we can put it to bed and we can move forward and we can focus on other things. Because as much as the L1's like, oh, we're working for free for the next 3 months, they're not going to be doing diddly squat. They're not even returning the 650 million LUNC. They're not responding to me. They're not rushed to do anything. And that's because when you put a paycheck in front of someone and pay them to do something, you're going to get more work out of them, just not that much. They're going to take you for a ride. And it's the same with anybody who works for like a big corporation. Like, what do you care if you have 20 minutes extra on your break? It doesn't come out of your back pocket, does it? The difference is the blockchain, it belongs to all of us, and that community wallet, it's only got so much funding. And if we all sort of have this attitude, well, yeah, let them jerk off for 2 months and only provide a month's worth of work, I'm sure we'll get somewhere. No, we have to put our foot down. We have to treat this as a business, and we have to say to ourselves, we better be getting our bang for our buck each and every time. And that's why I like labor market. That's why I think the pay per milestone system should have a system built into it. And the thing is, right, if you ask the development team that are getting a consistent paid wage to do something like that, are they going to do it? Are they going to build something that's going to make them redundant? Of course they're not. They're going to make you think that they're the only option. There's no other teams out there. You're lucky to have them. We give you so much. And that's always how it is. You're always taught that the grass isn't greener on the other side. And sadly, a lot of the times the grass is greener on the other side. That's why you jump insurance companies all the time, going cheaper price to cheaper price. It's not emotional, bro. It's just business. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. Let me know what coffees you're drinking. I'm running out of beans, so I've got to go get some more. I want some good ideas, so do let me know. Other than that, have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one.